What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Kind of Funny podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside producer/producer Nick Scarpino.
Your hair smells great.
Thank you.
That's
great.
Let me smell it. Oh, wow. It does.
That ain't no Garnier Fructis bullshit.
Ladies
You're putting
and gentlemen,
some real stuff in that product.
there's one man I trust with my hair, and his name's Dwayne. That's right, The Rock. I bought his Target shampoo.
Really?
Yeah. I
You're
like
like,
it.
whose hair do I
He
trust
had
the
fun-
most?
I mean, it's just
He
shampoo.
did have hair at one
You know
point.
what
Yeah.
I mean? It's just shampoo.
Never trust a bald barber.
So he's like, no, but he's not cutting it. He's fine. Don't worry about it. And then I did that, and then I do what? I do a little bit of the, I do my beard oils, right? And then I do a little bit, and I'll, whatever's left, I'll put through that. And then I'll do the Old Spice, and then I used Andy's hairspray today. So there's a lot going on there.
Incredibly ignorant question here.
yeah.
If you're bald,
Something totally racist.
are you shampooing your head, or are you body washing your head,
Or
or
you
you?
body washing, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to wash it because it's skin, but
course.
I doubt that you're shampooing it. What do you care? At that
What's your
point?
brother do?
Yeah, I was going to say, we have a bald man we could call right now.
That's a great question.
Call him.
That's all.
Because Matt's like,
Matt Scarpino.
As soon as it stops ringing, you go, you're on camera. You're on camera. You're on camera.
No, you know what? We're not going to do that.
I think that's
not
a
gonna
smart
do
call.
that. Yeah.
Fair
That's a
enough.
smart call.
Because he answers interestingly sometimes. I don't know. I'll text him. How about that?
yeah, that's good. Because we need to get to the bottom of this. Because Matt Scarpino, he is like a true bald man. You know what I mean? Like you see it,
Totally.
and you're just like,
He's not a poser.
no, because there's a lot of these posers out there where it's just like, there's still hair. There's still hair. I feel like with Matt, he is like a baby seal up there.
Oh, he's going to the skin. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
it's
when
like
Nick shaved his head, he wasn't bald.
that's
He
the
shaved
thing.
his
Yeah,
head.
yeah. It's like I feel like with shaving, I still understand. Like I've had it pretty shaved before. I'm still shampooing the thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The old gnome.
And I think I'm just going to tell him that I'm going to call him. I'm going to tell him that I'm going to call him because this is a weird text. You know what I mean?
You gonna send weird texts to
yeah,
your brother?
fuck it, you're right. You're right.
What do you do to your head? What do you do?
This is a weird text. I don't think that there's anything that I'd feel weird texting my brother. But my brother's not your brother.
I see, but
And
I,
I'm
here's
not
the
you.
thing. Here's the thing: is I don't
Very
think there's
different
anything I would feel weird texting Matt Scarpino.
Sorry, let me back up. It's not that I would never feel weird texting Matt anything because he's as strange as I am. It's the amount of context that I need to make it so that he's not going to ask me 40 questions.
Okay.
In a
That's what I'm
super
asking.
chat, DJ Kento says I'm bald. I use Head and Shoulders still.
What, is it like
Well,
Phantom
he still
Pain?
has those
What's
things.
going on? You know what I mean?
That was a great one.
I know.
That was a really good one. I'm sorry, I was drinking water
That's
and I
quite
able to
all
give you
right.
the laughable
Tim gave me a
chuckle.
good laugh. Tim gave me a good
I
laugh.
enjoyed it.
Speaking of when you used to shave your head, we got to blow Benny's mind yesterday.
Okay.
We gotta
right.
structure that sentence a
Speaking of
little
when you
quicker and
used to shave your
better.
head, what was my cadence?
Speaking of that, we got to blow Benny's mind.
You know what? It's been a day around here, all right? Just
It has
give me
indeed.
what I got
It
for
has
you.
indeed.
We showed Ben yesterday because Tim reminded me at brunch. We showed him the video of you with the DK monster truck.
Oh, wow.
Because
Ben was
Ben loves
locked
you.
in.
No way.
Loves you,
in,
loves monster trucks, and then bam, was locked
The
in.
legend continues. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is amazing. That is the video where my wife looked at me and was like, "You can do this. You can be an on-camera talent."
can do this.
Boy, was she wrong.
I mean, she nailed it. You
knew
definitely
words.
could do that. And you do it
What
well.
a dumb video that me and
love it.
Ty Root made.
It's just the best.
Tim or Greg, and I'm not going to ask Nick.
Thank you.
Well, Nick, you can listen.
Damn it.
You're allowed to listen.
Okay. Thank you.
I know it's
Thank you for
popular.
including me.
I know it's popular with long-haired people to maybe wash their hair one or every 3, 4, 5 days. Do you all do that?
No.
No, it's just
I wash my hair every day.
I can't do that. Like,
How often do you wash your hair?
well, no, okay. I don't mean wash. I mean like shampoo.
I shampoo my hair every day.
Okay, yeah.
For
so
me,
do
it was
I.
conditioner. That's where I got stopped. Fran Mirabella stopped me. When he found out I was conditioning every day, he's like, no, what are you talking about?
Can't be doing
Once,
that.
maybe twice a week. No, I don't even use conditioner.
I think I just got like a weird scalp thing. I got like I think maybe acne or something happened. I don't know what happens, but like if I go one day without shampooing, I feel like there's a buildup. There's like something fucked up happening on my scalp, and I don't like the vibe of it.
Yeah.
I don't like the feel.
I'm
of
with
it.
you.
I'm right there.
It's too oily. It
the
feels
hair funk, man. I'm an oily guy, like for sure. And
Yeah.
my hair, like it must keep all those secrets in it. I'm not so sure, but like, but I definitely need to shampoo every day. I don't feel appropriate if I don't, especially if I put product in. But even if I don't put product, like I still want the poo in there.
Audio
See,
listeners, Nick just rubbed the side of
And
Tim's
Tim didn't
head.
miss a beat.
Similar to how like Rafiki touched it, like puts a thing on Simba's forehead.
Exactly what I was thinking.
He just kind of wiped his
Anointing
head.
him. I was anointing him.
I'm just too oily. I'm too oily for that. And then I start to feel like it. I don't know. Like I'm scabby. Like I need an X-ray to see like how do I look like without my hair? What is itching there? Why do I feel that
looking like
sensation?
Deadpool.
But do you?
Yeah.
But see, you do the thing though where you shower at night and then sleep on the hair, right?
Yeah.
See, I can't do that because I wake up and my hair on the back looks like a peacock, and I can never get it down.
Every time I do it, I hate it.
Shower in the morning. Have to.
Every time I do it, where I shower at night and then roll off in the morning or whatever, I get compliments here about my hair. Today's one of those days. Showered last night, didn't do it today. You know what I mean? Wait, no, I lied. I showered today.
Oh,
So
he
your
lied.
hair's
To
kind of flat.
Who's complimenting you? They lying.
No,
Is it Mike? Because we all know what his comments are worth. Jack shit.
Jen.
I'll tell you, I've said this before. I'll say it again. You know who has the best hair when he showers and doesn't do it?
Oh,
Tim Geddes. Now, Tim, I thought of you the other day.
The body.
Did you really?
Yes, yes. Oh, and I should have taken a picture. I go to get my hair done yesterday, right? Give this nice little fade because Daddy's going to Comic-Con. We're looking forward to it. And there was a gentleman next to me that was getting his haircut. Very, very curly hair. Big, like
Boof.
kind of mane of curly hair. And I'm not really paying attention because, they do the thing at my barber where they face you away from everything. I'm like, why? Let me look at the mirror. I like to look at myself.
Yeah, why
I
are you
turn-
trying to surprise me here?
Very weird. And I'm like looking at it. I'm like, that's fine.
I've never even.
I don't know why they do it.
Thought about
I don't know why my barber specifically goes, are you ready to get your hair cut? Cool. And they turn you back into, I think it's because they turn you toward everyone and you're supposed to talk to each other, like barbershop style.
Oh, okay.
But there's never anyone in there, so I just end up staring at a fucking wall. Anyway,
Yeah.
long story short, got his sick fade. I turned back around, and this mane of beautiful curly hair is now the sickest fucking mullet I have ever seen in my entire life. Shaved perfectly on the side, little step down, badass, just waterfall. And I just think to myself, this could be Tim.
Yeah,
if Gia would let him do it.
I don't know that the mullet will ever be in my future. Like, I do believe that I could pull it off, but not in a good way.
I think your hair's too wavy.
It's not curly; it's wavy.
Yeah,
Curly mullet's
and like
sick,
the way
though,
the way
bro.
Mike's is very, very thick and curly and wavy. That when he grew his mullet,
It looked
he
cool.
quickly was shamed.
But I like Mike's mullet. He had a good one.
I didn't.
Really?
Yeah.
What's your favorite Mike look?
What he's doing, what he's been doing.
Yeah, I mean, he looks great. Yeah.
What he's been doing is like, sometimes I think it gets a little too high, but
I love it. Though.
it's
Kramer?
better than like what it was negative. When
Yes.
it felt like the hair on his like, I wouldn't understand how is your hair standing up in the front when it's like 2 centimeters long. Like I could never understand how his hair worked in the beginning when it was. If you look back at when he first went Kind of Funny, it was the shortest you'd ever seen it, right? And then you're like, hey, embrace this. You have one of the healthiest, strongest heads of hair on the planet.
through.
Use this,
Real quick, I want to say, jumping off of you talking about sitting backwards in barbershop seats, which freaks me out. I don't like that. I was in an elevator recently. We were going on like a freaking quadruple date or some shit. So we had like, at this point, there was 6 people, 3 couples in an elevator. It was a very, very tall building we were in. So we're going down from the top floor, okay? And
Penthouse.
yeah, of course, we
Eyes
fancy,
wide
we
shut.
fancy like that.
How many,
And
pe- how, many
Fit
people,
daddy
how
out.
many people are wearing underwear?
dude walks in, like 1 floor down from us getting on, stands and just stares at us. And I'm like, this is some old high school psychology, like bullshit of like, what's the test of what's going to happen here? We were all so uncomfortable because it was just like,
Did he say
do you
anything?
know one of us? No.
Did he look at his phone?
No. He just stared.
That's when you punch in the throat.
It was
Yeah.
very weird because it was like,
be
obviously,
doing
we
shit
were
like
visiting
this. It's
people. So it was
2024.
like, maybe 2 of these people know, but all of us kind of had that vibe of like, clearly he knows one of us. And then when we all left, he was like, does anybody know that man? No. It's like, that was fucking.
That's one of these
Serial
Greg.
killer
That's one of,
shit.
like a fucking throat. Like you just want to give him one of those.
Couldn't risk it. Couldn't risk it. For the record, I did not. Jen won't confirm because she's not paying attention. But I did not shower today. Okay, I showered last night. I did not shower this morning.
A very similar situation happened to me over the weekend, where I was me and some comic friends after my show at Lost Church decided to go get some food, and we were sitting there, and we went to this. I don't know why, but they were like, "Let's go to this bar where it's a half dive bar, half Indian restaurant," which is. If it sounds weird, it definitely
Sounds
is.
good. I mean,
but it was pretty
that-
good. So
yeah.
and we were like, all right, let's go. So we're there. We're like the only table in here, right? There's like 5 other people, and there's a pool table. And this guy that I think was German, because he had a very strong like European accent, hammered, just slowly. And I saw this happening because I could see him in my peripherals. Slowly walked up to the table, and then just stared at us and interrupted the conversation completely. And one by one, each of us noticed that this guy was there, and we were like, "Can we help you?" And he was like, "What's up?" And we're like, "Nothing." And he goes, "Okay," and then walked away. Came back 5 fucking times. Finally, he's like, "Do you guys want to play pool with me?"
Oh, poor guy.
Just wanted a friend, Nick.
But after 5 times, I was like, "You're creeping us the fuck out." I'm like, "No, go." I was like,
Have
"You're
you ever
being
said
nice
hi to
him."
somebody in when you go to Germany? That's how it starts.
Really?
Can you get a nibble? Can you get a nibble? You know what I mean? You're casting out the friendship rod, reeling it back in.
I mean, I felt bad because clearly the guy was like, "I'm traveling and there's no one like to hang out with," but he was plastered.
You've seen American movies. He thinks everybody plays pool. He thinks that's all we do.
But this is the weird. I mean, this has a happy ending because we were very nice. I wasn't
They
a
all
dick to
play
the guy.
pool. He's on Lost Church this week.
But I was like, I'm like, dude, we just got our food. He's like, "Do you guys want to play pool?" And we just got our fucking food. Get away. But I was like, "No, sorry, man, we're good. We're sorry, we're good." And then I literally was like, jokingly, I was like, the guy that was waiting on the table, he came to drop one more thing off, and I was like, "Maybe he wants to play pool with you." And the guy looked at me and goes, "Do you want to play pool?" And the kid goes, "Sure." And just walked over and played a game of pool with him. And I was like,
Never got your bill.
"No,
Never got the rest of your food.
thank God it was like a QR code thing we'd already paid."
Yeah,
but I was
yeah.
like, that could have backfired on us significantly.
Yeah.
Still waiting for my samosas. You know what I mean? It was a weird
Samosas are
vibe.
good.
They're so fun. Dude, they were fucking this big at this place.
Yeah,
they
they
look
make
like
them
pomegranates.
big, man. Yeah.
Samosa.
Stuffed pastry, like potato, pea
yes, okay.
stuffed like curry pastry. So fucking good.
Too close to mimosa.
I agree with that too.
Well, I was getting confused because there's the Samoa
Samoa
cookies. Yeah.
This is an interesting one from the chat. As you know, I learned all of my different cultural facts from chats. Kendall Holt says, "That's crazy." This is about hair and shampooing it. "That's crazy. As a black person, I can't shampoo more than like once a month." And then Lexi G answers on that, "Every 2 weeks at most for me."
Yeah, everyone's hair is different, man.
I'm with Andy. If I don't wash my hair at least every other day, if not every day, I get like weird ingrowns and stuff like that.
Oh, really?
I just start to get It's the
feels
same with
gross.
me wearing
I feel
hats. I
gross.
can only wear hats like 2-3 days in a row before I have to take it off and give my scalp a
Let it
break
breathe.
and or wash the hat.
Yeah.
Because I just get a lot of, especially here, if I get the new fade, I'll get like the weird little ingrowns
Itchy,
there.
itchy.
Yeah, I don't love them.
I just see from a lot of
Itchy,
people
itchy.
with the longer hair saying like, "Yeah, I'm getting so many compliments right now because I haven't shampooed in about a week and a half or whatever."
You get that gloss.
And it's got such a nice gloss to it, and it's
See, I
like
know that is,
I could not imagine
I guess it
doing
makes
that.
sense. Yeah, for long hair, I never because are you bringing it to the males? Because I know most of the girls I've ever known with long hair,
Yeah,
they don't
even-
wash their hair.
They're
really bad,
nasty,
yeah.
dude.
Girls are gross.
Dudes with long hair, yeah, for sure. I think like, and most of my reference here is whenever there's a dude with long hair in sports, I always see people going, "I wonder how much he shampoos." Because like sometimes you just have that look, that sort of like commercial style look where
She's born with it.
yeah,
But
exactly,
maybe-
exactly. So
No,
what
no.
about women are gross?
Live chat says
their
Bander SN says someone should make a restaurant called Samosa Mimosa, and then I would call it the Samoan Samosa Mimosa, and that could just be a drink.
There's a lot of
That's
mixed
just a
things,
drink.
yeah.
I would say you call it mimosa samosa. It rhymes better.
Thank you, marketing.
Am I wrong?
I've been wanting to make an
Fried
emote.
ball with the mimosa in
I've
it.
been saying for years we should call this company Funny Kinda.
Shut up, that was bad.
Jesus.
That was real bad. Just move on. Go, get him out of here. Get him out of here. Andy, you're saying something.
Well, I've just been wanting to make a Twitch emote recently of just the zoom in on so a lot more people can see it. He's doing it right now. He's doing it right now of Nick's mouth when it just kind of trembles.
Move the microphone away and give it. This will be for Andy's gif.
No, it's that's a little too extreme. Whenever you'll do it to us, it just kind of moves it like
Yeah, you're Benedict Cumberbatch.
I love you.
I just hate it. I just hate it. He's not even doing what I'm talking about.
I don't even know. I don't know what I'm doing. What am I doing?
Well, it's because sometimes you'll say something and you'll go,
Oh, just
give him his one. Give him his intense one again. Intense one, please,
I
Barrett.
hate it. I hate it. Yes. And it's just that. It's
God.
just it's an
He looks like one of those robots that is like on the fritz. It's like,
I hate it. Anyway, yeah, I want to make that a Twitch email. Where
he's
it's
the
just-
Hispanic
it's the
heartthrob,
face of
Texas
that.
Street Latino. He clicking heads, ripping them to shreds, globe trotting, head shotting, rootin' tootin', 3-point shooting. The Nitro Rifle from Twitch.tv. Andy Cortez.
Hey.
Hey.
A little bit of an energy dip there.
Yeah, whoa, what happened?
I mean, I haven't had my Adderall in like 4 weeks.
And some coffee.
4 days is what I meant to say.
Okay.
Got my.
Damn, you're all
It,
mixed
it
up.
always it also fucks up your time.
Yeah, of course.
How you grasp time.
What year is it?
I just feel like the energy dip, you know.
But it dipped literally like you
Just
were like,
right there.
Yeah, you were so laughy and happy, and then he introduced you, and then it just
Gone.
gone.
Yeah.
Can we get you back?
Hopefully the energy will boost back up for tonight.
I'm feeling boosted. You're gonna get that pickle in your mouth.
I'll bring the twang pickle
Are you
salt.
twanging? Did you bring it?
Well, I have to go home first anyway, so
Okay,
I'll pick it up
perfect.
there. I have plenty of twang pickle salt at the house. Excited for the little movie tonight. For
little
everybody wondering what the hell's happening.
What's going on? Forbes 30 under 30, a.k.a. the second best baby blues in San Francisco, a.k.a. the married one.
We're watching Deadpool and Wolverine tonight. Very excited.
Very excited.
Could not be more excited. I was telling Andy this morning, like, this is the most excited I've been for a movie since No Way Home. And before
wow.
that, it was since Avengers Endgame. I mean, I don't think that's a surprise, right?
See, it is, well, I don't know. I can't tell if it's a surprise or not. It's for me the fact that I'm looking forward to this movie, but I'm not like outrageously excited. Like I'm excited, but like I feel like this is gonna work to my benefit.
I'm with
this will really hopefully have a chance to catch me off guard, really blow me away. And again, I've been staying away from the spoilers. I haven't watched the trailers recently. Been trying to avoid everything I can.
It's just like white noise at this point for me, though, because I see things pop. Well, I see things pop up on Instagram like, "Hey, this is what's happening in this movie," and I don't know what to believe anymore.
Sure.
So every time I see anything, I'm like, "Who knows? Is Taylor Swift in this? Who the fuck knows? I don't know."
A lot of people angry at IGN for spoiling something. Luckily, I was able to
shocker.
stay away from
I
that.
was mad about that, but then Tim was like, "It was in the trailer, so you can't be mad
Here's
about
my
it."
thing,
And I'm
'cause
like, "Tim, don't take their side." You know what I mean?
No, well,
if
I'll
I've
be-
ever met a corporate apologist before, it'd be Tim Geddes.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
Dude,
I-
you
I-
know
Middle
what?
name's IGN, right?
I understand people being upset, but at the end of the day, it's Marvel that fucked up. Marvel should not have put what they put in the trailer. They just straight up shouldn't have done that, but they did. IGN reporting on it, it's like it's in the trailer. These people, I'm going to be vague about this. People are being interviewed by Variety and Hollywood Reporter, and this is being like front page of everything. Like there's no getting away from it. The moment it's marketing material, it's
fair
out
game.
there. It's not spoilers.
Yeah, it's fair
anymore.
game.
But again, I'm not defend. I think Marvel should
You're
not
defending
have done that, but they did. And so IGN's going to cover it. I feel like I understand being mad. I just think that you should direct your anger.
I won't
at them.
forgive IGN until they get rid of Eric Goldman.
Quote from Kevin Feige. Yes, please. I want to be shocked. Is apparently open to considering only one trailer for future MCU movies after Deadpool and Wolverine ruin its big reveal.
Hopefully, there's other big reveals though. That's my thing.
I still have no idea what you're talking about, so I'm very excited.
Let's just
Yeah, it's good.
say there's a penis in it that looks like Wolverine.
So Harry?
Rated R.
Is it Harry?
Nah, I was making that up.
That'd be
I don't
cool if
know.
it was.
Penis talk's fun, you know.
Penis is fun.
Penis is fun.
So
Yeah,
I
you
don't
say
know
with
if
a
like
stem
that's
penis.
something that they would actually consider though. I don't see that ever happening.
No,
of
fucking
course
way.
not. They want you to go see the fucking movie. They're gonna get
They have to market their
whatever.
film.
Never going to happen.
I'm not even going to read the chat right now. They're going to spoil it for
Yeah,
me.
I don't
No,
want to
they're-
even
no,
look.
no, no.
Why
Everybody's
not
fine.
just-
It's cool. These are the cool kids.
Why not just remix like one trailer, play backwards, forwards?
There you go. There
I mean,
you
they
go.
essentially did. Like that's the
Okay.
thing with the marketing for this. Like I've watched every single clip, and I feel like, I mean, I'm going into this knowing that like this is the type of movie that yes, there's spoilers, but also it's do they pull it off well? Like do they make these cameos work? These character like lines like pay off? Oh god, here we
no.
go.
Matt Scarpino has chimed in. The question was what, Nick?
I said, do you still shampoo your head? We're on the podcast. He texts back, no. Which is a very like rare one-word answer from my brother. So I'm assuming he's busy. Then immediately texts back, I use a loofah and a buff puff.
Barrett, give me a buff puff. I want to know what a buff puff is.
God, he's a special human being. I miss him.
What an amazing person.
What a beautiful person.
While we
that
discover
brother
what
is.
a buff puff is, I'll remind you this is the Kind of Funny podcast each and every week. 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather on this table, each coming to talk about whatever it is they want to talk about. This is a buff puff. It cleans and refreshes your skin. It's a facial sponge, gentle. Use every day with
doesn't look gentle.
perfect prep for
Did you say Gensel?
one tip. Well, it's good to get cut off. You know what I mean? I'm trying to read all the
This
words.
looks like an exfoliator.
It
Gentle is
does.
a full word.
It does look like an exfoliator.
I love a rough rag. That's why I use like rough loofahs. I can't have soft shit.
Yeah.
I need to like feel like I'm
I wanna
scraping
hurt
off.
myself.
You ever go to
Yeah.
a hotel? You're staying in a hotel. And you forget to bring like a washcloth in with you.
They give you the
So you do the
smoothest
little-
goddamn rag of all time.
Or like, but every once in a while, like I'll forget because I don't use a washcloth. I use a loofah.
yeah,
right?
same.
So I'll go to the hotel, I forget about that, and then like some hotels have like the pre-made stuff. You squeeze it in your
Yeah.
hand like the rain shower, and you're You're trying to set it up yourself, and you're like, this is not working. I'm not getting clean.
Ooh,
Get the face cloth.
do you? Here's what I do. Here's what I do, Nick, and it's something that I've kind of been perfecting over decades of hotel, sort of like. Here's my sort of thing when I go into a hotel. I'm going to shower, and they don't have a loofah. I'll buy a loofah. That's step one.
Interesting.
But imagine
You're going to CVS?
I get a little baby, little tiny one from a CVS. I take it with me, travel section. But now, pretend that's not available to you.
Okay.
I do the body wash thing sort of, on the rag that they give you.
On the rag.
But then I also use my nails a little bit. So I'll like kind of try to get rough with it to try to simulate that exfoliation process.
So, but then do you not worry that if someone finds you dead, they're going to go, oh, we got to look under his nails? They look under your nails and they find skin samples. They're like, we'll test this out. It's his skin underneath his own nails.
Oh my God, it's finally happened.
Yeah.
A time traveling Andy's come
I
back
scratch
to kill
myself
Andy.
a lot too. Like I have a lot of dead skin, so I'll scratch myself when I come out and I look like I got attacked by Wolverine sometimes.
Oh,
and
really?
it's always the extra.
What
across
is
my
everybody?
chest.
How's everybody moisturizing? That's a good question I have at the
don't.
table.
I moisturize my face. That's it.
Yeah, I
me
started
too.
moisturizing my face.
I moisturized my face. Jen got me on that because my face was having a trouble out there or whatever. Much better face now.
Struggling.
That's great. But my hands are still so dry all the time.
Jergens, baby.
And I usually don't care, but then now I have a kid, right? Now I got this kid. And it's one of those where it's too far gone for me, right? No one can save me. But the kid we can be better about. So you got to put sunscreen on these kids.
Yeah,
all
you
the
got to
time,
put
you know
some
what I
sunscreen
mean?
on that kid.
And the other day I was putting sunscreen on and Jen's like, stop. And it was the fact that my hands were so rough. I was irritated. His head was all red from me trying to, my sandpaper fingers trying to grind.
Like, why
in
does he
all
already
this
have a sunburn? It's not. It's a rug
Exactly,
burn.
yeah. And it reminded me so much of my father, who I thought was just, well, he was, but I thought was just, hard-working construction guy. And I'm like, oh, that's true, but he's also just didn't moisturize his hands, apparently.
Are you kidding? I have never seen my dad use any sort of lotion product, period.
Yeah.
Big Lou's not doing that.
Big Lou doesn't do
Yeah, it's so funny to hear. I feel like we've gotten a lot more sensitive to like we need to really be putting on sunscreen every day. You hear like, hey, if you're just stepping outside to go to the store, have a little bit, just a little the weakest SPF possible.
What we're always talking about off camera, these snowflakes.
Dude, exactly.
Let him have it, Greg.
Exactly.
Now's the day.
Exactly.
Today's the day.
We're bringing that fan base back.
Storm's coming.
But when I talk to my brother about how he takes my nieces to go play tennis all of the goddamn time, they're in the sun all the time. He's like, yeah, we put some sunscreen on. It's like, man, we never did that. Like, I never wore sunscreen, and I was playing baseball every summer in 100-degree heat, and I cannot imagine how long that set me back in terms of just skin damage.
When
in
you're a
the future.
pale little white boy, you have no choice, man.
The band and everything now, huh?
Oh wow!
Yeah, look at that.
I told you.
Outdoor daddy right there. You know what I mean? Outdoor daddy.
I told you guys the story last time I went to the dermatologist to get like a mold check, right?
I don't know.
Okay, I'll tell it again. My dermatologist. I go for I'm Italian.
Do you remember this? I don't remember this story.
Oh, we tell it. We I've never retold the story.
I'm
on a
not liking
podcast
this
before.
mole. Have him check out that mole.
I'll have him check it out. But I go in for a yearly mole check. It's super simple. They look around.
Yeah.
Make sure my dad. I'm Italian. We're moly. You got to be careful with skin cancer. It's a real deal. I go in and there's a new dermatologist and she's checking me out. And she's like, other than my face, she was like, "Damn, your body." She's like, "What did you do?" She goes,
New doctor.
No.
Damn, your body. She's checking me out.
goes-
She's smoking a cigarette in the corner. She's in the cuck chair.
Fucking
Damn,
for
your
me.
body, Nick. Spin around.
body.
Having
She's
a
like-
cosmopolitan while she does the exam.
I did think it was weird when she was like, "Dance for me."
I did hear this story.
All right, bend over and spread him now.
Yeah, no, she was like, "Damn, you do not have any sun damage on your body. Like your face has a lot, but your body." She's like, "What do you do? Like, what have you done your whole life? If you worn sunscreen every time you go out?" And I said, "No, it's very simple. I was very overweight as a child, so I never wanted to take my shirt off. So any pool activity or any activity that involved me being in the sun, I just didn't do." She goes, "That might have saved your life."
Wow, look
here
at
we
that.
are.
Boom.
Wow.
Boom. Eat
I do
that.
have a
Aggressive
lot of sun
thinking.
damage here, though. Can you see it?
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, I see like the freckles and stuff.
I want to get one of these days. I'm going to pony up the dollars for like a photo facial. Have you ever seen these?
No, what is
it's like
this?
a laser. They laser your face like lightly, and all the sun damage comes out of your skin and sloughs off. It's wild.
Wow.
Yeah, and then you look minimum 15 years younger. And then me and Andy are going to go to Turkey and get some hair plugs.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Stem cells, they rub them on like a chia pet.
When are we going to get to the point where you go to the robot, Andy, and it goes, here's your DNA, and it clones it and just stuffs the
Why
shit in
not? Like,
why can't they clone a fucking hair cell? Like a hair follicle?
Why can't I just like?
You can clone a goat. That's harder.
Let me drink a liquid that just boosts my
give me a cream.
metabolism.
You got there. And your vocabulary.
You don't need yeah.
Of course, like I was in the middle of It's Kind of Funny podcast. We talk every week. I don't know. We hang out. If you like that, of course, you should be hanging out with us live as we record the show. Of course, Kind of Funny members like Langley, M, Neely, Madeline, Stanley, Elefonte are all watching live thanks to their membership. You can pick one up on patreon.com/kindafunny or youtube.com/kindafunnygames. $10 gets you good karma. All of our shows ad-free. The ability to watch the podcast in the afternoon like this very one. And of course, your daily multimedia experience. Greg Way. Thank you very much, Andy. I'm always happy you're there for me. Remember, of course, if you have no bucks our way, no big deal. YouTube.com/kindafunnygames. Podcast services around the globe each and every week. We'd love it if you gave us a sub over there, a follow, a rating, whatever it is to help other people find the podcast because it's always helpful. Thank you to our Patreon producers who go above and beyond, like Carl Jacobs, Nathan Lamoth, Alex J. Sandoval, James Hastings, and Casey Andrew. Today, we're brought to you by our Portillo merch line. And hey, let's hear from them right now. New merch alert! We brought back the Portillo hat and t-shirt in new colors, as well as a stylish crew neck. I also wrote a children's book about Portillo, and you loved it so much that we sold out in just 3 hours. Wow, thank you! But fear not, we're doing another limited run. So if you want one, head over to kindafunny.com/store, click the books page, and hit notify me when available to make sure you know when it goes live. And while you're there, grab a few shirts for your friends. Andy?
Hey, Greg.
I'm driving to Kevin Coelho's house on Sunday. I got Jen next to me, Ben in the back seat. Ben obsessed with the robot cars. Obsessed with robot cars. I mean, he loves cars. But when we're driving through the city and we see the Ways, or the Waymos. Yeah,
I'm obsessed with these things too.
Nobody driving them. You say, robot car, Ben, you go, where? And he looks at it and go, oh. And as soon as it turns, he goes, it turned off. It turned. And well, you know, Ben. Yeah.
When my parents were here and my Theo and Theo were here in town visiting, blown away by these goddamn
Did they take
Waymos.
them?
No, we almost did, but they were just like, it was like seeing a like an insane kind of like going to Cirque du Soleil and just being like,
sure,
wow, how is this
she
real?
Put her leg back there.
I can't. They just allow this in this city. I was like, yeah.
Wild.
There's another one. It's turning right there. Check that one. And we just kept on pointing them out. And then
everywhere.
And then here's another wild thing. I've maybe been recognized 4 times in this goddamn city. I got recognized while I was walking down. Oh my God, are you Andy Cortez from Kind of Funny? And I was like, yeah. She's like, wow, I can't. This is awesome. Great to meet you. Just want to say hi. And my Tia was like, that's crazy. And I was like, I swear to God, I didn't plan that.
Yeah,
like,
I did not pay that lady to say
it's
this.
Barrett and a mustache.
Like, I've been here for 7 damn years, and like I never get recognized, and it's just so like. Of course, it's going to happen when I'm here with family, like walking in the pier.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
These Waymos, none of us have done it yet, right?
No.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I have a feeling like, because everyone I know that comes to visit, they all want to do it. They prioritize.
Do you ever want to challenge them when you're in the other car?
I want to fuck with them all the time.
I'm always like, what's going on here? But I've seen these things now for years. Like, I think especially like out where I live, like it must be their breeding grounds or something, because these things are just fucking everywhere, getting data constantly. And seeing them drive around empty, just taking pictures of shit, just feels normal. And like, I'm so desensitized to it. But last week, it was the first time ever I just was chilling on my couch, looking out my window, drinking some LaCroix, like I'm often doing up there, listening to music.
Surveying his kingdom.
Just fucking surveying the kingdom, exactly. And all of a sudden, I see this thing pull up.
Shirt, scratching his boxers, drinking his LaCroix, watching the neighbors.
I see this freaky car pull up and drop people off. Like it was one of like the Uber type Lyft things with them. And I just see people get out of the car, and then this car just like drives away. And there was something about seeing that really like fucked with me. Where I was like, I don't know why a car driving itself is like, I'm used to it now, but a car driving people and dropping them off, I know people have been doing it, but actually seeing the process of it, it was fucking weird, y'all.
Have you seen the new, I think Cruise is like the Waymo competitor. There was a couple, there was I think it's Cruise is a Waymo competitor. They had a lawsuit there. They had to unfortunately stop doing their stuff in San Francisco because I think someone got killed.
They got dragged by, right?
Yeah, unfortunately. But I think they might be back now. They may have settled that. And they
she dragged herself.
Wow. Okay. No. They apparently have a new model of the car coming out that doesn't even have a steering wheel. So it's literally just a box with front wheels, and you sit in like facing each other.
Oh, cool.
That's real cool.
So it is,
cool.
I just want to get to Time Cop, right?
I mean,
get in home, go.
It looks kind of like the cars from Minority Report.
Yes, yeah.
Where you get in, and it's like the mag lift thing. But I don't know if it was is Barrett or Kevin. Is Barrett?
Barrett's in there.
Barrett, could you Google new Cruise Speed 2 Cruise Control? No.
Disney Cars 3 Cruise.
I'll try to find a link. But it's crazy, and I'm such a there it is right there. There it is right there, man. Jason Patrick. It's not real to me yet. Yeah. I know people are taking them now, and it's like it's a service that you can take, but it's so wild to me to see the infrastructure that has to go into the city for those things. I drove past a warehouse that was the other day has been like I guess it's an old parking lot for the longest time that hasn't been in use, and they're launching them out of there. So that's where they get serviced and cleaned and stuff. So it's weird to see a bunch of people like they installed new power and all this shit, and it's fucking wild. It's
crazy out there.
It's gonna be a brave new world out there, man. What?
Sorry, me and Andy are having a little moment over here. I wrote it to him on my document. Just so you know, Andy, I regret this. You'll see. So as I was saying, we were driving to Kevin's house, and Ben was obsessed with the Waymos. But then Jen got a text and another text and another text and said, "Oh no, something's happening." And I said, "What?" She goes, "I don't know, news." And it turned out it was Joe Biden dropping out of it. This is why I wasn't trying to talk about Waymos. I'm glad we did. I'm glad we did. It's like,
okay. I thought that was the topic.
This thread went a lot longer. No, I wanted to talk about, we of course had our hit podcast last week. Trump got shot.
Unanimously, everyone loved it.
Everyone loved it, yeah.
No, not one dissenting voice in the comments on that
I'll let
one.
you know. If they thought I was annoying in 2020 with the Biden-Harris ticket, this Harris ticket, I'm going to be super annoying about now. Come on.
Come on.
How are we feeling, Andy?
Yesterday I felt the best that I have felt about all of this.
Yeah.
Even though I still don't think if Biden stayed there that we would have lost completely. I just didn't feel...
It's close.
Didn't feel encouraged.
Biden can be president. He can be vice president. Trump will be vice president.
I'm surprised to hear that.
I didn't feel encouraged because I still feel like at the end of the day that the amount of voters on the left still outweighs the amount of voters on the right. And that's what happened the last election. And that's even what happened the election when Trump won. It was just, he lost the popular vote. So, I feel like it still would have gone to the left, but yesterday is the best that I felt in a while about all of this. Just in terms of, it's the most together I've felt everybody on the left feel. And I don't... Throughout all of the whole Biden stuff, it's all you had to do was not supply money to a genocide. That's all you had to do in order to have the more progressive side, where I am sort of aligned with. That's all you needed to do. Yes, you're old. You're doing a lot of good stuff in terms of student debt and
union support.
Yeah, union support. All that stuff has never been done before by a president, and all you had to do was not support a genocide. But you're doing that, and that was a killer, right, for a lot of people like me. Yesterday is still the most together that I've seen the left in terms of all right, fuck it, let's do this. I don't understand. I had to really, really, even though I still got into arguing with people, of course. I don't understand the what's so wrong with voting right. I'm just looking out for my family. It's but they're not looking out for your family. Just because you're acting as if I don't know, maybe you make $400 million a year or something, then you're probably looking out for your family and the money that y'all are making. Mm-hmm. But there's a great chance that even though you think that they're that these tax cuts are going to somehow help you, they're not. You all have been fucked over by a lot of what Trump and his administration was doing in 2020, and things have been kind of on the up and up in terms of like what the general population feels about America. You know, with the most amount of like black jobs out there in the country, in terms of job losses going down, in terms of gas money going down. I know that it doesn't all just correspond with what Biden is doing or what this administration is doing.
Some of it's economic evidence.
Yeah, and like that shit happens, right? Like even when gas prices are up, when, you know, Trump is in office, it's like, I'm not dumb enough to be like, oh, it's Trump's fault. It's like, I know that shit isn't always just the president. But yeah, I feel like yesterday is the most unified I felt in a while. The most like, fuck yeah, like we should be able to do this now, hopefully. The thing I laughed the most about was like a meme that was a picture of a grocery store, and it was the wine section, and it was like Kamala looking for the vice president, and it's like sort of like a Trader Joe's sort of section of wine, and it says interesting whites.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's like,
that's pretty funny.
You got to get a Midwestern white who is just like the straightest
Swing
white dude
state?
you've ever seen in your life, and I get it. And it's like in any other universe where people cared about what their president said and did, this would be the easiest thing in the world, and it's still not going to be easy. We just need to make sure that we show the fuck up. Because if we all show the fuck up, there's no way that, especially with everything that Project 25 is trying to get across, no porn.
That's a deal breaker for me right there.
Exactly. Limiting the amount of like weather information we can get. Like, what the fuck is that about?
It's straight Handmaid's Tale shit.
It's really, really wild. Yeah, and you know, him acting like, I don't know who these people are. You know, there are a lot of people on the extreme right who do it. It's like, okay, well,
Why
like,
is he speaking at the convention? The guy who wrote 25.
They're your dudes, man. They're your dudes. So like, in any other universe where people gave a shit about what they stood for and who they were voting for, this would be the easiest win ever. It's still going to be tough, but I think we can do it.
Yeah, there's a lot in there to echo, I think. But to start, I would disagree, where I think Biden would have got his wheels beat off.
Me too.
Oh,
Like,
really?
I think it was like beyond gone. Like, I don't know if this is the solution. But I'm so, it's like, I'm so more enthused with this path than anything else. Like, I think Biden was, and this is going to sound comical to some, I'm sure, right?
Comical?
Biden was in 2024 what Hillary was in 2016, where it was like, hey, here's a competent adult who's done some stuff and like stuff you might not like or whatever, blah, but there's a competent adult. And so the only reason you're motivated to vote for that candidate, whether it be Hillary back then or Biden now, is the fact that you hate the other guy. Yep. And that's such a terrible way to motivate anybody when you're going against Trump and you've got this.
You're voting for a Supreme Court and an administration.
Exactly.
Is what a lot
which
of
so
this
many
is.
people don't want to understand, you know what I mean? And don't want to get behind. But it's like Trump's group is a religion. Like, they talk about it that way, right? Like, you know, the firefighter who was killed at his rally, right? And his wife's talking about it, where she mentioned how he was, you know, he was a devotee or what, I forget the word now, but it was usually
he wouldn't be happy if I accepted Biden's cause.
Yeah, that's one thing, but it was the way she phrased it. I'm screwing it up, and I should have had the quote, but it was how you usually say somebody's devoted to a religion. She used for that. It's like, that's what you're fighting, where it's like those people aren't going to be swayed by anything. Like, nothing's going to stop them from voting for Trump. So then if you're like, the other side is, hey, you hate that guy, right? Well, yeah, but I don't like this guy. We've seen it so many times. And like, I don't think Kamala's out of the woods by any stretch of the imagination on that, of like, what is her Israel-Palestine thing, right? Like, I've read and I got the Politico article pulled up, right, where it's like, ultimately, President Harris may express more rhetorical sympathy towards Palestine or Palestinian civilian suffering, may push Netanyahu more to wind down the fighting in Gaza, and may be more insistent. But in most ways, her policy towards the Israeli Palestine isn't necessarily going to differ much from Biden's.
Yeah.
So it's like,
that's
what
I always assumed, yeah.
And so it's like, there's this energy right now, which is great, and there's like a renewal to some regards, and yada, yada, yada. And then, like, you know, they announced today, right, that they've raised $81 million in the first 24 hours in terms of fundraising.
Record-breaking shit,
yeah,
which is great.
Which is exactly what I want to hear. Great, cool. Like, before, when we were clearly on this path, last week she gave some speech, I remember, and I saw the tweet go around, and it was a quote tweet of it. It was just somebody saying, all right, good enough, let's go. You know what I mean? Like, that's good enough. Whatever she was saying, I think about unity or whatever it was, like, that's all we need. Just somebody who can speak and be out there and go do the damn thing.
Yeah, that's my thing, is like, this is an unfortunate set of circumstances, because you obviously want a sitting president you want him to go in with enough energy and enough ability to then take that second term on. And unfortunately, Joe Biden just didn't have it anymore. I mean, we all saw the last few times he's been on camera. It just it's
in the debate. Yeah,
it's unfortunate, right? I just don't know much about Kamala Harris. Like, I just, and that's the thing, is I think that the Dems have done a pretty bad job of putting her in front of people. I think that I don't know. The presidency right now, unfortunately, is a popularity contest, right? Trump has the cult of personality behind him. We need someone that can at least match that energy on the other side with it, and I'm hoping she can.
Yeah.
I just don't know, because we haven't seen much of her.
So here's my thing on that, which I am excited about and then fascinated about, in terms of, hey, we're doing a 2024 election. I don't mean like obviously it's an election year, but I mean like, let's see what a modern election looks like, right? Where you're talking about basically 100 days till everybody goes and votes, right? Which is, in the past, political suicide, how you doing this, blah, blah. But you live in this information age right now, where she's the coconut meme and she's brat, and it's all these different things where it's like that.
Yeah.
And sorry, just to finish off this thought. It's the idea that, yeah, we don't know much about her because the past 4 years she's been backstage, right? And like, that's usually the VP's role. Like, I think of Dan Quayle, even though I was a kid.
What do you think of Biden, right? Like,
yeah.
What did you know about Biden when Obama was in the
I knew he fucked up. It was like, yeah, we support gay marriage. Oh, what, we haven't announced that yet? Fuck. And then everybody had to support gay marriage, and that was great. Good job on Biden for that. But it was an interesting, like, going rogue moment. I remember on Meet the Press or whatever it was. Anyways, though, for this, I think it's having a clean slate and doing it so fast, stick with me, reminds me so much of like when Fallout 4 did that. Hey, we're revealing the game. Here's the one thing, and now it's time to go play the game, right? And I know that's a weird comparison to a very serious thing, but our industry of how it is.
I mean, it's marketing at the end of the day. It's all that this shit is.
So if it is, you can raise this obscene amount of money. You have a bunch of people super excited. Like, you're hopefully I want to say breath of change, but we all know it's not going to be, I'm completely different. Legalize weed, all of you, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not like,
they already did that, right?
Yeah, I know, but I mean, like, but not like,
I know what you're saying.
What I mean is, get everybody out of prison for their weed offenses. Which
got it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
thank you very much. That's what I was looking for. But like, I know it's not going to be like night and day different, but just the excitement of having a 59-year-old, which sounds also
Jesus
fucking
Christ.
crazy to say, but it's not a 78-year-old, right? So it's like, I'm fascinated to see her on the debate stage with Trump and see what that looks like.
And that's my thing too, is I think to Tim's point, like, you do have an opportunity here, right? Which is that everyone's attention's on this, and it's not that long until the election. So as opposed to a long drawn out, like what we would have done, or what the Dems would have done in years past, is that you go, okay, we're approaching the end of the second term for a president. You start promoting whoever is going to be the next candidate that you're going to push in front of the, when it's an open election. And they just haven't done that yet, because I think the assumption was that Biden was going to run for a second term, and thankfully he stepped down. So there is an opportunity here where it's like, hey, everyone's paying attention. She has a lot of good energy coming out of the gate. People seem to be rallying about them. The real question is, like, it's the same on both sides. If you're a Trump supporter, you're going to vote for Trump. If you were a Biden supporter, you're probably going to vote for Kamala Harris. Is there any gray area in the middle, and how do we sway people toward?
I think
the side that you're aligned with.
I think to Andy's point, it's less about the swaying; it's more about the showing up. Where I do feel like there were going to be a lot of people that just weren't going to show up,
weren't going to vote for this.
but
Yeah, that's a
are
good
now
point.
going to vote for her.
I mean, that's sort of what happened with Biden, right? Which is like, people are like, I don't know about Hillary, I don't know about Trump. Trump wins, and everyone's like, oh, we fucked up. We should have gone out and voted. And that's why I think Biden had gotten that first term, because everyone's like, show the fuck up.
Yeah,
go vote.
I do also. I think that there is a very real sense to numbers of getting people to go out and vote, and the young people going out and vote, and being a young person that's 18 for the first time now is very different than even the last couple elections
ago,
of like the Gen Z kids. I think, like, at least anecdotally, seem a lot more progressive. That's a ridiculous thing to say, because like, I'd be shocked if it wasn't anecdotal. I'd be shocked if that wasn't the reality of things. And if that's the case, you need to give them somebody that they feel motivated to go out and vote for. And with Biden's views and like every action or inaction when it comes to Palestine, I feel specifically that is an issue that the youth cares about a lot. And I feel like they are now going to be motivated more than they were, just it not being him. Biden kind of became this like symbol of power not being on the side of what they believe in. And I feel like that is a major win that time, I think, is on her side of there's not too much time to make missteps. Like, that's a very unfortunate way to look at it, but I'm very interested in the meta and the strategy of the voting process and of the timing of all this. Like, I wonder if we'll ever know the realities of how planned this all was, of Biden dropping out when he did. If it wasn't planned at all, then what is going to end up happening in the next 3 months? Like, how prepared are they going to be? Were there contingency plans to lead to this, or are they now making it up as they go? And if so, is that going to result in like a beautiful, like, taking advantage of the moment in the time, or is it going to be an absolute disaster? I don't know, but to Andy's point, I feel more positive about it than I have. I thought I would have put so much money down Trump wins. Like, I feel like that was like such a lost cause. Cult of personality and stuff, and just Biden fucking up with his core people. Like, that's so bad. But now I'm like, I still feel like Trump has the edge, so I cannot stress enough. If you are hearing that, you're like, I'm not going to go out and vote. Go out and vote. Like, we need the people to show up. So
women voters, and especially black women voters, are going to save our asses again this time around. Like, that's a lot of that happened in 2020, where by far, like, their turnout was so overwhelming on the left side, so overwhelmingly high on the left side, that it really kind of saved a lot of key areas. And I think that will likely happen again this time. I think last night, hearing about this call with, was it 4,000 black women on a Zoom call, all just talking about like,
I thought it was way more than 4,000.
Was it 40,000?
It was something ridiculous.
It was like some ridiculous amount of thing where they had to like call up Zoom and be like, hey, we need to like just have everybody be allowed to hear this sort of thing. I wonder why they didn't do it like on Twitter Spaces.
44,000.
44,000.
You wonder why they didn't do it on Twitter?
Yeah, exactly. Can you scroll up just real quick?
I did not hear about this at all.
How 44,000 black women galvanized support for Kamala Harris on Sunday night. It was a gigantic call.
Bloomberg's
with
article.
A lot of like movers and shakers, kind of, a lot of people in the press, but a lot of like celebrities and things like that, just kind of like really, really wanting to show up to start the fundraising going. And I think a lot of that is initially kind of what kicked off this gigantic boom in fundraising.
Yeah, I mean, going back to Tim's point earlier, I don't. This is awesome. That was awesome, by the way. I don't think any of this was planned. And if I had to guess right now, I would guess that the next few months of her life is going to be cramming for all of these issues. I think, and that's the only scary thing, is that you're not getting the benefit of having more time. Now, granted, I'm sure she's well up to speed on some of these issues. She's been vice president for a long time, right? So it's going to be so fascinating to see those two on stage together talking, and having someone you would hope, well, I'm sure she has, like, being very well studied and educated on these and be able to get that across eloquently as Joe Biden would have 20 years earlier, and then have Trump on the other side just doing what he normally does, just make shit up and see how that nets out.
And have her nail him on
and have her be like, that's not accurate, right? And actually have him call him that. Because that was the one thing that, like, when Biden originally debated with him, I was like, you're calling him out, but you got to call him out. No. Originally,
sorry.
the first election was that they did those debates and he would call him out a little bit on that. But I was like, if you want to take on Trump, you've got to be more, not outrageous, but more larger than life in the right way with him. You have to shut him down. You have to be personable. You have to be charismatic, and you have to have that level of energy that you would have, for lack of a better term, at a roast, or a roast battle. Sure. Like when you see that, you have to be able to jump on them, shut him down, and have the facts to prove that. And I don't know that it's going to do necessarily, again, any good in swaying hearts and minds on the right, but I do think, to Tim's point, like, people will see those clips, they will see those moments, they will see that energy and go, maybe I want to go out and vote for the first time now. Maybe I do care about these subjects, or if nothing else, they'll get a little educated on it, and that can only be good. That can only cause good.
Yeah, I think, you talk about you're not going to sway the right, you're not going to sway the left on where their vote goes, right, for these, but it's always the undecideds, and it's always the people who are more wishy-washy or weren't going to go vote or whatever. And I think that's, for me, when I look at this and have hope for the first time in a long time, right, it is the thing of like, well, I can't wait to see how Trump crosses the line. Like, I feel he will say something sexist. He will say something racist to her.
He's going to call her Kamala, probably. How every single person on the right does every single time. Like anytime you watch Fox News,
Yeah,
right, they
yeah,
always
yeah.
mispronounce her name, which is super disrespectful.
But I think going further
What the
than
fuck are you
that,
doing?
saying something stupider and further than that, and over the line in a way that hopefully,
Oh, I'm sure
a
he'll-
person
yeah.
who's like, I don't want to vote, I don't want to vote for a Democrat, I don't back him on Palestine. Oh shit, fuck. Well, that's over the line. That sucks, and I don't want that to be. You know what I mean? Like, let's bring back grab him by the pussy. Like, you know what I mean? I hope she's just running the old campaign ads she had before, where she was talking about taking him down, and the fact that she's a former prosecutor, right? He's a felon. Like, you know what I mean?
that's
Like,
wild.
this material writes itself in a way of really, this is a black and white decision here on what this is and who you're voting for and why you're voting for them.
Yeah, see, I think it's hard though, because every time
Yeah.
you talk about that, it just gives him the opportunity to say more outlandish stuff, which just riles up his base. I think the strategy
But the
has
base
to
is
be.
gone. We're done. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I know, but I mean, I think the strategy just has to be stick to the issues, speak eloquently, shut them down when you shut them down, and hope to God people understand. Like, hey, if someone's speaking rationally, that makes more sense than someone who's
Sure. Speaking
just
irrationally.
literally just not saying. I mean, hopefully, what you want is you want to put a mirror up to Trump and be like, hey, everyone, just listen to what he's saying, because he's not saying anything. He's making stuff up. He's just making up his own facts. I mean, anytime he says anything in a debate, you're like, I don't know if that's actually accurate, and people will go, no, it's not, right? So all you need is someone on the other side matching that energy, being like, no, that's not accurate. This is what it is, and this is where we should go. And my hope is that people will see that and go, okay, let's think for ourselves here. Let's get out of the cult of personality. Let's wipe away the image of him pumping his fist in the air, which is it's admittedly a very powerful image.
Oh, yeah.
And let's come back down and talk about what is best for the state of our country. We just have to have that conversation.
More importantly for you, Andy, The Guardian has an article up of the Kamala Harris cheat sheet, 19 things you need to know about the woman. One of the things that got posted, she really likes Doritos. On the night of the
huge.
2016 election, she went out for a large family dinner, went home and watched the results come in. Dread for the country mingling uneasily with celebration. Ate a family bag of Doritos and didn't share a single chip.
She doesn't share. That's what she's all about. This woman does not share. Well, JD Vance loves Diet Mountain Dew, as we saw in his recent
Makes him racist, I heard.
Super Gold clip.
Dang.
Like, what a great clip.
I didn't see his clip. What is it?
Guys are insane.
A great clip of him just being at some rally, being like, you know, the left. the best tweets
the
I
left
saw were
doesn't like Mountain
the
Dew?
best tweets I saw were making fun of this, like as if it was a stand up, and being like, so are you two a couple down there? But it was him being like, the left.
He's
you
doing
know,
crowd work.
the left
First
says
date?
that
When'd you guys meet
the
each
left
other?
says that such and such is racist. I mean, you know, I had a Diet Mountain Dew early this morning. I'm sure they'd find a reason to call that racist, right? And like you hear like, he's like, I love you guys, and it's just like all of the comments were so golden. I'm so glad that Roger sent me this clip, because the comments are like, man, this is like big Jeb Bush energy right here. Like, and
Please
then like
clap.
even AOC pointing out that like, man, he really reminds you of Jeb in that moment, and the singular clap at the end was just so chef's kiss. Like, this guy is radiating negative like aura. Like, it's just like the best thing that you could have right now. And I think that to go along with everything that JD Vance sort of stands for, and all of his like obvious stuff that he's wanting to do with Project 2025, and to have Trump's hour-and-a-half speech at his
acceptance
at his RNC, which was like a disaster. Like, it's some
Everyone
of
at the RNC riding this high and then slowly being like, why is this still happening?
some of the worst stuff, like in terms of just like speaking and just going off the cuff, and where he's improving now. Like, he's just kind of.
We got to bring everyone together. We're going to destroy everyone.
It's just
Like, what?
it was just like
What are you talking about?
it was like one of the worst podcasts I've listened to, and
and you've been on this one.
yeah, for sure.
We've had some bad ones.
And I think that like
A lot about fruit.
and I think that's where the momentum really needed to kind of shift, is like not only coming off the heels of that terrible performance, but going right into the key cause for why the left might lose, saying, I'm going to take a step back. I'm doing this for the betterment of our country. And like having that sort of tide sway in a way, like got me really fucking fired up. I was so libbed up yesterday, man. I tell you what, I was so libbed up yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, jeez, what a crazy historic month we've had. 2 weeks
Yeah.
that we've had in this.
A week and a day.
Yeah.
Has that been a week and a day since the assassination attempt?
Maybe it was a week.
It was
Yeah,
it was
last Sunday,
Saturday. It was
right?
last Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday I was playing
Well,
with
I
Ben
count
in
the
the backyard.
I think this whole thing kicked
Okay,
off to me with
okay,
the debates, right? The debate where everyone was like, "Okay, we have to have a conversation about
hit
it."
the brakes, everybody.
Yeah, which is unfortunate, but you know,
Gotta hit the brakes, Jack.
the fact that
Not a
he,
goodbye.
the fact that he was stepped down is incredible. That's incredible that he would do that.
Yeah.
And I think he absolutely made the right choice.
Yeah.
And, I wish we could have strategized and maybe done it a little bit earlier and come to this conclusion a bit earlier so that after the one term, you could have handed the reins off to someone. Maybe we propped someone,
I mean,
it's going to be Kamala or it's going to be someone else, prop him up. But
it's telling a superstar athlete
now,
to like,
not
retire.
a month from now. Yeah.
Like it reminds me of like when you're watching that athlete that was like, I'm not gonna ever say Joe Biden was great, but I'm saying like it's any athlete who's ever had this superstardom who's now in the last years
Make
and
a
it's
little
like,
room. You got to make a little room.
you
for the new
got
guys.
like you're gonna have to come off the bench. Like I'm not gonna come off the bench. What are you talking about? Like it's like you need to step back, dude, because you don't have it anymore. And it really reminds me of Dirk Nowitzki of the Dallas Mavericks barely being able to run from like one court to the other when he was at the end. His knees were so fucked up, and it almost felt like the NBA retired him without him. Like Adam Silver, the NBA commissioner, being like, "Oh, he's had a great career. We're gonna honor him." And at that point, Nowitzki had never ever mentioned he was retired. He was like, "Fuck, I guess I'm retiring now." Like,
They're like, we're done with you, buddy.
it really like you gotta. I in that situation would probably be stubborn as fuck. Like, no, I'm not gonna step down. Like, I still got it. It's like, dog, no, you don't. Like, we all saw the debate. Again, it was 8 p.m. real late for you, homie. But like, we gotta do what's best for this party.
Yeah,
I mean,
and him to recognize that, I think, is like pretty fucking awesome for a guy that I think has done like a lot of terrible shit in his past.
I think as well, like what you don't want is you don't want what like sort of happens with the Supreme Court, right? You don't want a Ruth Bader Ginsburg moment where we all appreciate her. She was incredible for her time, but that one last bit where she should have stepped down and been able to have another seat. Not that it would have made that big of a difference, because obviously the majority is, well, it's 6-3, so it's like whatever.
Well,
but it would have helped, right?
Yeah.
They would have also assumed. I mean, that was also the Dems' fault for assuming that the right wouldn't just replace her immediately, because that when.
Well, there's also the hubris. I think that they didn't think Trump would win.
It was a miscalculation.
But they were also
across
like
the board,
they were always.
right?
It was always one of those like kind of unwritten rules of like, yeah, but you don't replace somebody with like, and they did it anyway. It's like, oh, we should.
Yeah, they were like, we didn't read that rule book.
Like, yeah,
Now it's a 6-3 majority.
Yeah, we play by the shitty rules. It's like, okay, Dems, you need to play like them now.
Yeah.
Please get dirty like them.
So at the very least, I'm hoping we're learning from that.
Yeah,
and
you'd
being like,
hope so,
hey,
right?
Because let's be honest. Had he been like him steamrolling, I'm going right through with this, it would have been more of a like. It would not have had a good outcome. I don't think that Biden versus Trump would have been the outcome that anyone on the left wants, for sure. And now, hey, it's going to be interesting at the very least.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
it's going to be good energy going to this bad boy. If this is a not a cult of personality, but like a popularity contest, there's going to be some interesting campaigning on both sides for this one.
So right now, Monday, July 22nd, Andy, who wins the presidential election in November?
Kamala Harris
Okay.
takes the dub.
Yeah. I'm gonna say Kamala too. Maybe I'm hoping too much, but I'm gonna say that. Nick,
I mean, I would like it to be her. I would also.
I'm
gonna
trying
be fascinated, but to see who she picks for her VP.
Yep.
I think that's going to go a long way as well.
That'd be a
and
swing state.
It has to be, and I mean, there's a lot of things that's probably going to have to be, but I mean, I don't know. Jury's still out for me. I don't know. I'm not on the voting side. I'm voting for Kamala, but on the who's going to win, I mean, Trump is he has so much momentum right now.
Juggernaut of production.
And he is so fucking right. I mean, he is like a god to his people, and that's very hard to beat. Very hard to beat.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's Trump still, and I think more than anything, just a reminder to, hey, do whatever you can to make that not happen. Like, you got to vote. You got to, if there is somebody in your family that you can get through to them. It is going to be worth it, because I do think that where he's at now is just as powerful as he ever was, but he got away with even more stuff and is celebrated for even more stuff. Yeah, I feel like it's his to win at this point, and I really hope that I'm wrong about that, and I do think that we have unprecedented times ahead of us to be able to figure out how we're going to actually get to November, and I think that the circumstance we're in actually gives the best chance possible, because we just haven't seen something like this. And I think in the state of information just being like I was telling Greg, he was driving when he saw this news, I saw this happenstance literally live as the tweet came through. Like I did a refresh of my Twitter and Joe Biden's tweet popped up.
Wild.
And I read it and his verification tick was like gray. And I was like, this can't be real. Like there's something wrong about
was it
this.
gray?
I don't know.
As a
Just,
government
like,
official.
yeah, I didn't realize
okay.
that. So I'm looking at it and
I'm
I was
shocked
like,
Elon Musk let that come through.
I was like, something's wrong about this. And I was trying to
No,
verify.
he was very happy about it.
Oh, that's a good point.
He was like, we got the news 10 minutes before ABC and all that stuff. Yeah.
And I was Googling like Biden. I was just Googling anything. And there was so many live updates from CNN or whatever. And literally the live update from CNN was saying Biden's not dropping out. And it was like a thing that he had said like the day before. And I was like, this is fucking crazy. And I was literally like, I can't believe what I'm seeing on Twitter right now, to the point that I literally didn't believe it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I saw it on Instagram, and then like 10 minutes later, AP was like talking about it. And I was like, that was one of the crazier things I've ever experienced, of like getting information from somewhere that looked incredibly legitimate, but also there was enough doubt in me, and the way and the speed at which people were reacting or not reacting to it. I was like, this is bizarre as shit. And I think that is just a sign of where we're at, where so much is going to happen. You guys just got to make sure that you're staying on things being legit and like moving with the accurate information, especially with the events of the last 10 days. So,
Yeah,
You know what? I'm gonna flip it around. I'm gonna say that I think Trump wins, only to do the reverse jinx. So if you all don't want Project 25 to go, if you want your porn taken away, you bunch of gooners out there, if you want.
Greg and I have a lot downloaded on our desktop computer, so we're fine.
If you want, very, very important things taken away from you, if you don't want that to happen, then you better show the fuck up, because that shit is like, it's coming, and they're gonna enact all this stuff. And if you are silly out there to believe that Donald Trump doesn't know who these people are, this man's a professional liar. That's what he does. I also. One reason, though, why I am a lot more confident now than I was several weeks ago is just seeing how kind of panicked the right is about all of this, and like being like, no, we're gonna try everything we can to get Biden back for you. Like, that's bullshit. You can't do that this late or whatever. It shows me how much they really, really, really wanted to go against Biden.
Of course.
And then I think of like, well, fuck, like. Come on, your guy got impeached twice, and he's a felon, and he's still running. Like, let us have this. You know what I mean? How the fuck are you doing all this stuff? You know, it feels like maddening. Anytime that I get so kind of like flustered by what the fuck these people think is okay and how they like try to flip things around on us, I just immediately think of Tim going, ah! That's how I feel sometimes, because like I don't understand.
There's no rules. There's any rules or boundaries anymore in politics. Not that there ever really were, but there was at least the facade that there was.
It's just
back in the day.
It's
like I think back to when like Bush won, and you're like, at least they had a facade of they were like good people. You know what I mean? Bush would talk, you're like, yeah, he's a bad guy, but
No, you're just like, he's dumb.
yeah.
Will Ferrell's making me laugh doing his impression of him.
Cheney's pulling the strings.
You didn't think it was gonna be the end of the
whatever.
fucking world, but
Yeah.
like now it's like all bets are off. We don't give a shit. It doesn't matter. I see people in the chat saying maybe she'll pick Newsom for her VP. No way.
No, he's way too.
They're not doing an all California
Yeah, you
ticket.
can't
There's
do
no
two
fucking way.
You can't do two coastal elites on one ticket.
No way.
Yeah,
You can't
You
do
need the whitest boy on the whitest bread from the middle of America. Most likely a governor from one of these swing states.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be.
CNN's got it up, a short list or whatever, and it's got all the images. I love the pick of, and I should say, I love this knowing nothing about him. Right?
Andy Bashar?
No, I was going to say Mark Kelly, that former astronaut. I didn't realize he was the Arizona. I knew he's the Arizona senator. What I didn't know is represents the state Biden won by only like 11,000 votes in 2020. Oh, that'd be interesting. You know what I mean, he's been to space. Put him on a ticket. That sounds cool.
Yeah, so he starts talking about what he saw on the dark side of the moon. And we're like, fuck, shit. Is that real?
Yeah,
I was like, is that Joe Biden?
Again, it's the first time in a long time I've felt any hope. I don't feel like this is a done deal, but even like, I guess with Biden in 2020, I did not feel, I was getting talked down on election night by people in DMs because I was like still freaking out about it. Like this one, I don't think is a done deal by any stretch of the imagination. But again, the response I'm seeing, the actual excitement, like, I like, this is stupid, but stick with me. Like this, before it was very much like, yeah, I'm going to vote for Biden, but how do we talk about that on a podcast? And like, I don't want to. I'm not going to buy a Biden shirt this year. I'm not going to do that. Like, I'll buy a Harris shirt.
And that's the thing is, like, I do not think it's a done deal, but I think that the deal at this point, it's open again.
It's competitive.
It was a done deal in the wrong way, and now I feel like there is so much potential for things to change.
The only reason I push back a little bit against that is that the fact that the Dems won in 2020, and then the supposed red wave that was supposed to happen in 2022 to combat all of the backlash from the Dems winning in 2020 didn't happen.
Trump is different, though.
Yeah,
like
Trump
people
is
rallying to vote
from-
specifically for Trump. I think that's the difference.
Well, I also there's also a good. Yeah, you're making a great
reproductive
point.
rights being taken away right before the 2022 election stuff, I think helped that more so than anything else.
It's also a lot of people who Trump used to be chill with, and then they all hate him now. So he couldn't really point to anybody and be like, make sure you're voting. I'm endorsing so and so. It's like everybody who's ever been close to him in his life is just now vocally always on some interview being like, yeah, that guy sucks. Like, what?
And the people he was endorsing in 2022 were like the most psychopathic people, most mask off on like, yeah, we're going to take all this stuff away from people. And I think that was a step too far for a lot of moderate voters as well.
I mean, interesting, like you said. I worry, about all this too, like our excitement, and everything else, and like what you're seeing here, or whatever. But like, even with the mask off, Republicans who are just like, make America great again. It should be white. It should be
Christian
more male. All this
country,
stuff.
yeah.
Like how many mask on, middle of the road swing voters out there? It was like, a woman president, a black president,
Oh, yeah.
an Indian president. It's like, ugh, like, you know what I mean? Like that all excites me. Get somebody in there other than an old white ass guy. You know what I mean? Like whatever. But
I know that is the big problem. Because like how much of the country is. I mean, politically, how much of the country is like secretly like, like old school, our grandfather's era, being like a female doctor. That's crazy.
Right.
A female pilot. That can't possibly be the case.
so then you jump back to Tim's point from earlier, right? Of like the younger generations, hopefully,
Always
storming
about
the
'em,
ballot
man.
box. I know it is, and it's always hard to get them to actually vote. So
Yeah, that's
again,
true. They're gonna have to figure out how to get in their car though.
There's Waymos. for
Waymo.
that.
Oh yeah, we got the Waymos now. That's a good point.
yeah.
So, is a segue just to lighten the mood a little bit? Are we just a little jealous that there gets to be a Gen Alpha? Because it was like Gen Z, and now we're back to the A's, and that's the coolest fucking thing ever. They get to be
There's
Alpha.
gonna be a Gen Beta.
That's gonna be awesome.
You beta cooks.
Because we got X, which is like, yeah, that's we invented porn.
Well,
Here we go.
wouldn't
I hate this shit.
isn't little baby Ben beta?
Who knows?
When is Alpha cut off? I
don't
guess
know.
is the question.
Yeah, I hate this
Because
shit.
I would say my nephew, who's
I-
13 right now,
Yeah.
is Alpha.
It's Alpha, right? That's the next one. Did I get that right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, you're right.
That's sick.
But
Like
when?
Alpha Squad.
I mean,
But when
Michael.
is the cutoff?
Okay,
Is it-
according to just a random thing here from USA Today, 2010 to 2024 is Gen Alpha.
Okay. Oh. Okay. So Ben would technically be Gen Alpha.
Okay, so somebody born next year is beta.
Now, when I click on this thing from somebody else, they say 2010 to 2025.
This shit pisses me off.
I hate it
come
so
on,
much.
Figure it the fuck out, internet. That's all. This
Google's
is a
broken,
real
yeah.
thing we should be voting on right now.
Internet?
Generations.
The generation. They won't call them beta. There's no way. Someone will come up with a better term. Like
No, they
millennials.
will.
What was that? That was like, what
Stupid
gen
as
is that?
shit. Yeah, stupid as
That
hell.
wasn't even an
Fucking
M. it
cool
was
as hell.
an
What are
M.
you talking about? Millennial? Fuck
Nah,
yeah.
it's
Kevin Kennedy's right though. Z is cooler sounding than Alpha.
Gen
I'm
Gen
Team
Z
Z
is
for sure.
No, but Gen Z sounds like you got to get some penicillin for it. You know what I mean? Oh, like he's got the Gen Z. We got to. You know what I mean?
No.
It sounds like a.
Nick, did you hear Andy tested positive for
For
Gen Z?
I don't think Gen
It sounds
Alpha
like
rolls
something
off
weird
the
that
tongue.
people get.
Nah.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think
Use
maybe if it
protection.
was like Alpha Gen or something.
I'm saying this because I'm.
Sounds kind of cool.
That's pretty sick. I'm saying this because I'm basic as hell, and we're gonna go see a movie that has Wolverine in it. But like Gen X always made me happy because I was like, sneak,
Yeah,
sneak,
yeah,
and I
of
would
course.
be the fucking X-Men. That's cool.
Man, I can't wait to see this movie now.
Also, stop calling me a boomer. I'm not. Fuck you guys.
Fair enough. Ladies and
They're one
gentlemen, this
before
has
the
been
boomers,
the
right?
what?
How fucking dare you, Barrett?
I said he was the one before the boomers.
How fucking dare you?
What were before the boomers?
Gen X.
Jesus.
No, fuck, I don't know. My grandparents' generation, the greatest
X is
generation.
after, right?
It's boomers X.
Boomer X.
Boomer
millennial.
X.
Yeah.
Wait, everybody, we got Liam Neely in the chat with breaking news. Just got an alert, Greg. Frozen Empire's on Netflix. Go see how fucking full of shit IGN is, everybody, right now, all right?
See if you can get through it without sleeping.
Shut up. You liked it, you idiot.
I know. I just wanted to come to your
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Kind of Funny funny podcasts each and every week. 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather on this table. Each come to talk about whatever horrible, maybe good, whatever, I don't know, historical event we have to live through every fucking week. You know?
Yeah.
Sucks. You should be able to watch the grapefruit video. Talk about that. That used to be a podcast.
They can still.
Now I gotta
those
fucking
days.
figure out who these goddamn VP people are. Shit sucks.
She'll announce soon, I imagine, right? At the convention.
Convention in August, probably. Yeah. All right. Anyways, if you like that kind of funny membership, please get it. $10 gets you good karma, the ability to watch us record the podcast live and break news about Frozen Empire. Of course, the ability to get
We broke that news specifically.
Lang Lam Neely, journalist. All right,
Journalism.
you don't know anything about it.
Instagram's gonna get it in 10 minutes.
CNN will update their story.
Yeah.
in an
Like,
hour.
subscribe, share, do all that jazz. Get the Greg way. No matter where you get the show, thank you for supporting it. And until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.